Since Todd Boehly and Clearlake Capital took over Chelsea in May 2022, the club has spent more on defenders than any other team in Europe, an eye-watering £360 million in under 3 years. That's the kind of money you could use to rebuild the entire backline of any elite football club. And yet, here we are. After a dozen signings, Chelsea still doesn't know what its best back four looks like. Each season brings a new wave of names, and just as quickly the old ones vanish, either sidelined by injury, dropped due to poor form, or quietly sold. Chelsea today finds itself with a surplus of defenders, but a shortage of trust. Take Wesley Fofana, for example, the most expensive defender in Chelsea's history at £75 million. On paper, a powerhouse. In reality, he's managed just 34 appearances in 3 years, his career constantly disrupted by devastating ligament injuries. Statistically, each match he's played has cost Chelsea over £2.2 million in transfer fees alone, never mind wages and bonuses. While his talent is undeniable, his inability to stay fit has sadly made him one of the biggest defensive flops of the Boehly era. Then there's Kalidou Koulibaly. Brought in as a leader at the back, he never settled into the pace of Premier League football. £38 million signing, he lasted just one underwhelming season before being offloaded to Al Hilal at a loss. Axel Disasi followed a similar path, error-prone, inconsistent, and now reportedly not in Maresca's plans. After less than a year, he's already being linked with a loan move. Benoit Badiashile was another hopeful, signed for £35 million with strong passing ability but a fragile mentality. He struggled under the spotlight, especially in big games, and has yet to earn the full trust of the coaching staff. Like Disasi, he's at risk of being moved on after just one unconvincing season. Ironically, some of Chelsea's most reliable defenders weren't multi-million-pound signings at all. Enzo Chalobah, a product of the club's academy, quietly became Chelsea's most consistent centre-back in the final stretch of the 2024-25 season. From March onwards, he started every Premier League game, helping to stabilize a shaky backline. Then there's Levi Colwill, another homegrown gem, and now considered a key piece of Chelsea's future. He played a pivotal role in their 2025 FIFA Club World Cup triumph, showing maturity and composure well beyond his years. On the flanks, the contrast between two signings couldn't be clearer. Malo Gusto stepped up admirably in place of the often injured Reece James and was one of the standout performers last season. Marc Cucurella, meanwhile, has undergone a stunning transformation under Maresca. Once written off, he's now playing with renewed purpose. The latest name? Joel Hato, a £37 million gamble on a 19-year-old from Ajax, symbolizing Chelsea's new philosophy. Invest in potential, not just immediate impact. Hato hasn't played a single minute for the club yet, but he's already being hyped as a hybrid of Virgil van Dijk and Jurrien Timber. When you step back and assess Chelsea's dozen defensive signings over the past 3 years, the picture is mixed at best. Only Cucurella, Gusto, and to some extent Tosin Adarabioyo can be considered successes on the pitch. The rest? A blend of disappointment, uncertainty, and speculative bets. Roughly £200 million has been poured into defenders who've yet to deliver clear value. For a club aiming to rebuild and rise again, Chelsea's defensive spending spree has been more of a costly experiment than a masterstroke. Chelsea once prided itself on a backline built on legacy. From John Terry to Branislav Ivanovic, Gary Cahill to Cesar Azpilicueta, each defender wasn't brought in to develop. They were the defensive cornerstones, leaders, warriors, men who stepped into the lineup not to learn the ropes, but to hold the fort. But under Todd Boehly, that philosophy has taken a sharp turn. Chelsea no longer shops for finished products. Instead, they're betting big on promise, on raw, uncut potential. The hunt is no longer for the next wall, but for the next brick. Young bricks, still soft around the edges, but with the hope that one day, just maybe, one of them becomes the next John Terry. That vision has taken shape in the form of signings like Joel Hato, Caleb Wiley, Aaron Anselmino, Mamadou Sarr, and Renato Vega. All of them were under 21 when they joined. All came from relatively inexpensive markets: Argentina, the Netherlands, the US, Switzerland, and all were handed long-term deals. It's a strategy that blends football scouting with financial calculus. Take Renato Veiga, for instance. Signed from FC Basel in the summer of 2024 for just under £12 million after a single solid season, the young fullback quickly drew interest from Atletico Madrid, who reportedly made a €40 million bid. Is Veiga a world-class left-back? Not quite, but tripling your money in a year. From an investment standpoint, that's already a win. This entire approach is tightly woven with UEFA's financial fair play rules and the Premier League's profit and sustainability regulations, PSR. Selling someone like Enzo Chalobah, an academy graduate, would count as pure profit, since there's no initial transfer fee to amortize. So even though Chalobah ended the 2024-25 season as Chelsea's most reliable centre-back, the club is still considering selling him to balance the books. On the flip side, selling a high-priced signing like Wesley Fofana or Benoit Badiashile could trigger a financial loss if the transfer fee doesn't match the remaining book value of their contracts. In this system, Chelsea's defense doesn't just function like a football unit, it operates like a stock portfolio. Each defender is an asset, each move a financial play. Now, let's be clear. Investing in young talent isn't the problem. It's the pace and purpose of that investment that raise eyebrows. Somewhere along the line, footballing logic has been replaced by fiscal maneuvering. Development has become speculation. The backline has become a revolving door, spinning too fast to settle. It's a stark contrast to the Mourinho or Conte eras. Back then, every defensive signing had purpose, tied to a tactical philosophy. Mourinho brought in Ricardo Carvalho to complement Terry, calm, experienced, and proven. He chose Ivanovic for his grit and positional versatility. Conte signed Antonio Rudiger and Marcos Alonso specifically for his back three system. Each move was deliberate, designed to build a cohesive structure. But now, Enzo Maresca inherits a backline stitched together by trial and error, a battleground left behind by Graham Potter and Mauricio Pochettino, a squad built not with long-term tactical cohesion, but with short-term financial calculus. Players come and go like pieces on a factory belt, promising maybe, profitable, hopefully, but coherent, hardly. Chelsea doesn't lack talent in defense, but they do lack clarity. For any club with ambitions of conquering Europe, where matches are often decided by the smallest of margins, a backline can't just be good. It must be elite, and more importantly, it must be built to last. Right now, Chelsea stands at a crossroads. The raw materials are there. On paper, this could be the foundation of something great. Marc Cucurella is playing the most consistent football of his career on the left. On the right, Malo Gusto brings pace, energy, and composure. Perfect for a possession-heavy system. In central defense, the future looks bright with Levi Colwill, a rare left-footed English centre-back, and Jorel Hato, the Ajax wonderkid with sky-high potential. But between promise and performance lies a brutal gap. Hato, for all his tactical intelligence and tight space control, lacks the 1v1 speed needed in the Premier League. Colwill is gifted, no doubt, but still green at the highest level. Gusto's attacking instincts can leave space behind, and Cucurella, though resurgent, can't carry the defense through an entire season without a solid structure around him. And then there's the elephant in the room: leadership. Chelsea's defense is crying out for a true defensive general. Wesley Fofana was meant to be that figure, but injuries have kept him in the shadows. Benoit Badiashile still feels mentally fragile. Reece James, the club captain, spends more time recovering than leading on the pitch. Compare that with Europe's most dominant defenses, and the contrast is glaring. Liverpool have Van Dijk and Konate, power, speed, and composure personified. Manchester City boast John Stones and Ruben Dias, intelligent, technical, battle-tested. These defenses are built around cornerstones, leaders who guide younger teammates and hold the line in moments of chaos. Chelsea? They're still searching for their anchor, because in truth, talent and transfer fees don't guarantee success. Just ask Thiago Silva or Gary Cahill. Neither were young nor lightning fast when they anchored Chelsea's defense, but they brought calm, experience, the ability to read the game, set the tempo, and make those around them better. Fofana, Disasi, Bediashile, they're all expensive, all promising, but none have nailed down a starting spot. What Chelsea might need is not another teenage sensation, but a 28 to 30-year-old center-back who's been through the wars, someone who's played the big nights, someone who knows how to steady the ship when the waves hit hard. In all of this, Enzo Maresca holds the key. He's not just a coach, he's a tactician, a possession-first philosopher who demands a lot from his defenders. Press resistance, accurate long passes, smart positioning in high lines. But to turn that vision into reality, he needs time and a group of players he can grow with. Changing 3 or 4 defenders every season makes that impossible. No coach, no matter how brilliant, can build chemistry on quicksand. If Chelsea truly believes in Maresca's long-term project, then they must stop treating the backline like a trading floor. Let him pick his 4. Let them grow together. Stabilizing the defense won't be the final piece of the puzzle, but it has to be the first. Only when Chelsea builds a backline they can trust, can they truly begin their journey to conquer again.